Here is doctoral paper number 6, reflecting on question 6 of the U.S. Civics Test. Open quote, what is one right or freedom from the First Amendment? Answer example, freedom of speech, close quote. Doctoral paper 6, the sacred right to speak, freedom of speech as a mirror of the mind and guardian of the soul. To answer question 6 with freedom of speech is technically accurate, but spiritually insufficient. For speech, in its deepest form, is not just expression, it is revelation. It is the voice of conscience, the echo of inner alignment, the audible form of unseen convictions. In a truly flourishing society, speech is not just tolerated, it is treasured. Freedom of speech is not simply the right to speak without punishment. It is the right to exist without erasure, to name your experience, your fears, your ideas, and your dissent without state retaliation. In this way, speech is the civic bloodstream of democracy. When it is blocked, the body politic sickens. I speech as selfhood, the voice of dignity. The First Amendment does not protect speech because it is always right. It protects it because it is necessary to learn, to challenge, to correct, and to grow. Like the immune system, speech identifies both toxins and truths in our shared civic body. It allows society to course correct before corruption calcifies. In ethical terms, speech is not noise, it is identity. And when people are silenced, they are not just muted, they are erased. Thus, freedom of speech is not a privilege. It is the voice print of moral recognition, the ethical paradox, protecting what offends us. True freedom of speech must include speech we disagree with. That is its moral weight. As Tallis might remind us, the true test of wholeness is not how we treat what we love, but how we respond to what disturbs us. To defend only agreeable speech is not liberty, it is narcissism. The First Amendment insists that truth must contend, that society must be a crucible, not a cocoon. As Shippers 2025 noted in Burn the Script, leadership that insulates itself from critique cannot mature. It can only ossify, ting offensive speech. The First Amendment teaches us to refine our moral filters, not through censorship, but through civil discourse, truth-seeking, and inner stillness. 3. Speech in a weaponized age. Today, speech travels at the speed of AI. Algorithms magnify influence, while digital platforms curate what we see, say, and believe. In this landscape, freedom of speech must evolve. The threat is no longer just government censorship, but platform manipulation, mob outrage, and surveillance-induced silence. Thus, the First Amendment's promise must now include freedom from algorithmic erasure, freedom from digital coercion, and freedom to question digital orthodoxy. As the AI, higher ed, and workforce revolution warned, speech without platform fairness is a hollow freedom. Shippers 2025. Tool leadership through speech. True leaders protect speech not because it is easy, but because it is essential. Ethical leadership means making space for difficult conversations, controversial ideas, and moral complexity. Not every voice needs a microphone, but every conscience deserves protection. And for those on a journey of stillness and integration, freedom of speech is not just a right to exercise, it is a responsibility to embody, to speak truth with clarity, to dissent without dehumanizing, to contribute without collapsing into outrage. Conclusion from speech to signal. Freedom of speech is not the freedom to be loud. It is the freedom to be heard, honestly, ethically, without fear. It is not simply a civic liberty. It is a mirror of the mind and guardian of the soul. If we forget its sacred role, we don't just risk tyranny, we risk losing our shared humanity. References: U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, 100 Civics Questions for the Naturalization Test, Q's What is One Right or Freedom from the First Amendment, Shippers D. 2025, Burn the Script, Kill the Leadership Theater, Lead for Real, Iron Dog LLC, Shippers D. 100 AI, Higher Ed, and the Workforce Revolution. Nostradamus Publications. Would you like to proceed with doctoral paper number 7, focused on question 7? How many amendments does the Constitution have?